So in this video, I'd like to show you a gameplay tactic that you can try with your friends if you like. And it's about using an LMG with a tripod. Now your first reaction might be, why use an LMG with a tripod? Why not use the heavy weapons like a 50 caliber machine gun? There are several good reasons for that. So first we go to the armory. See an M60 machine gun. Take one, it costs 55 supplies. And the tripod for it costs 30 supplies. And the tripod only weighs 7.3 kilos. So if you're playing with a friend, you can ask your friend to put it in a backpack. And even if you have a second friend, carry some extra ammo. Okay, now we got basically everything you need to set it up. So you take your car and drive to a location where you want to create a choke point. So I've now arrived close to Morton. Perhaps you recognize this area. And for this demonstration, I want to set up an ambush where I can see that road and use the machine gun to shoot at it if something crosses it. Okay, so got the machine gun and I got the tripod. I'm going to set up. So it's slightly hidden from the view from Morton behind the bush. I'm going to face it this way. Put down the tripod, put down the machine gun, use a shovel, and assemble. So I just placed the second machine gun because if you assemble them, currently there's a bug in experimental where you cannot reload them, they won't shoot. Okay, this is a pre-placed one, but functionally it's the same thing. Then you can mount it. And the cool thing is now the character will be prone when you use it. Before that he would sit almost upright, which was really bad. So, character is prone like that. And now let's examine the advantages of using a weapon like that. Okay, let's say you want to shoot at the ambush position up here on the road. Now the first cool thing is you can actually use the ranging because it's a personal weapon. The ranging works. On the heavier ones you can't use the ranging. So this one 400 and fire burst. And I'm not going to move the mouse. Okay, now let's see what we hit. Okay, that's about 400 meters. Now I fired the burst in about 2 seconds and I fired more shots than a sniper rifle has in its magazine. I probably fired 20-30 shots. And notice all of them are practically center mass on the human-sized target at 400 meters. So that's the first advantage. Now let's imagine somebody gets ambushed, is driving down the road or walking down the road, and the machine gun is shooting in that direction. You have the extreme accuracy from the tripod. And now the first counter-argument is some players might say, okay, what if the guy shoots back? Because the machine gun is stationary, and when you start shooting, the enemy knows where it is. So now that sort of isn't a disadvantage, but if you look at it now, a 5.56 rifle at 400 meters will have difficulty hitting the target or even finding it. Okay, let's select a platoon leader because they have a binocular. So now let's remove the trajectories. First, I have to find the target. No, you can still see the player, but it will take a moment to find him. Then you have to return fire with the 5.56 rifle at 400 meters. See how accurate it is. 100 meters, I'll go crouched. See, I have some weapons where I approximately think that pixel is the enemy. Okay, see if I hit something. Huh, actually almost hit him. See a trajectory? It's flying. Went in really flat, then it bounced off the ground. Oh, it was actually, yeah, it was like 10 centimeters next to his head. So you still can accurately shoot back. However, the machine gun is still going to shoot while you're trying to get one shot off. And you still have to account for the suppressive effect of being ambushed. And there's several arguments that say if the gun is stationary, there's too many disadvantages because everybody knows where he is. They can just, if there's 5 or 10 of them, they can just start shooting and pepper the gun. But here's where the strategic advantages come in. Let's say the character gets knocked out or killed. Okay, the player is dead. Now the machine gun will persist on the tripod. I think it doesn't despawn for like a week, like a really long time. And now if the player would carry the machine gun himself, If he ends up dead, he respawns. The corpse is lying around for a few minutes, I'm not sure how long. Somebody has to loot it to preserve the machine gun. And most other players are too busy fighting and probably don't have the capacity to pick up the machine gun, a backpack, and all the extra ammo. So it's basically the strategic advantage. You're basically giving up the mobility of carrying the weapon yourself. You're investing into a stationary position to have it. And the gun will remain there even if the character is dead. And the second player can walk up and keep using it. Now you can say the enemy has the ability to walk up and disassemble it. However, then he has to pay for it by walking 400 meters just to disassemble a machine gun. And the other cool thing is when you're like a small machine gun team, you and your friend with a tripod, you can quickly convert it on the fly. Let's say you want to, you did the ambush. The enemy is moving in on you. You can just disassemble the gun, tripod, move to another place, quickly assemble it somewhere else. And I think it's pretty amazing for like if you play with a friend, because you get really emotionally attached into the weapon system and into playing with your friends. So you really want to like put out the machine gun, put it in a good spot. Perhaps with a third player who carries extra ammo, and sometimes you can even abandon a position, come back later to it. And another advantage is like the whole thing is a really low profile system. It's relatively light, but except for the ammo, depending on how much you want to carry. And because it's lighter than an, for example, M2 machine gun, you have more shots in the weapon. And you can basically, you have the choice for granularly applying the right amount of firepower in a position where you need it, without all the overhead of bringing in a construction truck, putting up FOB, putting up the sandbags and everything.